I'm curious, what are some of the things that you're doing differently, once you leave the facility and go home to protect yourself from the virus and, of course, possibly spreading it to your teammates?
Yeah, so, I mean, with this situation and the way the world is now, it's only me personally. I only go from practice to home and then like to the grocery store if need be. Other than that, he's kind of like, just stay at home. Don't try to do nothing extra that you normally do during the season. Just think about your team first.
Joe Rudder, Trib.
Yeah, but how was last week kind of with the uncertainty of not knowing when you were going to play and then having, have practices up through Thursday? Was there some uncertainty there? And how'd you feel about losing your bye a week later in the year?
Yeah, it was definitely uncertainty. We didn't know what was going on. The coaches didn't know. The NFL kind of had stuff in the last moment. And prior to Thursday, we just thought that we were going to play a later date that was in the same week. But NFL decided that we weren't going to do that, so we just got to roll with the punches.
Mike Prizzuta, DVE.
Well, the success you and TJ are both having, how sustainable do you think that is? And are you guys at the point where you expect to have a matchup advantage every week?
Yeah, definitely, man. We work hard. We work hard in the offseason. We work hard during practice. And, we just want to continue to get better and better each week, and continue to be a threat for opposing teams, and continue to keep that fire underneath us so we can push this defense to be the best that we possibly can be.
Brooke Pryor, ESPN.
Hey, Bud, when we talked with TJ a couple weeks ago, he said that he doesn't talk to anybody else during practice except for you. What is your relationship like with TJ this season? I mean, are you guys close friends off the field as much as you play together on it?
Yeah, TJ, my dog, man. TJ, it is what you get. He's a hard worker, on the field and off the field. He's just a serious guy all the time, even during the day. He's always trying to think of ways to get better and better. He's just a great person to be around, a great person to exchange, and pick brains with.
Mark Cabali, The Athletic.
Hey, Bud, have you seen teams, maybe especially the Texans, trying to throw the ball even quicker than normal to, try to relegate you and TJ ineffective?
Yeah, we get, recently we've been getting a lot of chips. We haven't got this many chips and double teams at the beginning of the season since I've been here. It's very frustrating to me and TJ. But teams are gonna, do their best to scheme. That's just part of football. We got to out scheme them, so we got to come back with more ways to be able to adjust to those adjustments they're making towards us.
Dale Lawley, DK.
Hey, Bud, offensive holding penalties are down across the league over the first 4 weeks of the season. Have you noticed offensive linemen getting away with more holds? And as a defensive pass rusher, what can you do to combat that?
Yeah, you just got to bring it to the referee's attention. And eventually as the season goes on, still 3 games in, well, for us, 3 games in, it's still considered like the preseason games for the referees. So, those guys are kind of warming up, trying to see exactly what calls they want to make and what calls they shouldn't make. So, as the season goes on, those calls should pick up.
Tim Benz, Trib.
Bud, when you were watching games yesterday, did you make it all the way to the Sunday night game against the Eagles? And what did you think of what you saw from them?
Watching the Eagles, they had a lot of fight. I was in that game, and it's still the NFL. Each Sunday, any team can win. It's a lot of great players around the whole league, and we saw a lot, and I learned a lot from that game. And I'm excited for this week, and excited to play against a team that just came off a win.
Ray Fittipaldo, PG. Ray.
Hey, Bud, with what's going on in Tennessee and, New England and Kansas City, it brought up the possibility that not every team might play 16 games this season. As a player, what do you think is a fair way to determine who gets in the playoffs? if some teams aren't able to, complete their regular season schedule.
Yeah, that's wild. That's one of those situations where, we just gotta see what's the best for everybody, and come together as a whole. Just make the best decisions. Therefore, that each of the best teams can be into the playoffs, and don't leave anybody behind who's supposed to be in the playoffs. So whatever suits the best way to do that, I think we all need to come to agreement and make it happen. They also need to include the players in that as well.
Brooke Pryor, ESPN.
Hey, Bud, wanted to follow up about you and TJ. Are there still things that you guys are able to teach each other even after playing together for these last couple of years?
Oh yeah, definitely, man. You never can. It's never enough knowledge in the game of football. And continue to get better and better is always going to take a progression of things, as well as mentally, physically, and just seeing things on the field that your other counterpart may not see. So if I'm seeing something on my side of the field, I can relate to TJ because he may end up getting it eventually on his side as well.
All right, looks like we're going to have two more here. So we'll go to Jerry Dulac for a follow-up with Post-Gazette.
Hey, but I don't know if you're paying attention to the crazy scoring that's going on around the league. It's record numbers. Aren't defenses typically supposed to be ahead of the offenses this time of year? And what do you make of it?
Yeah, they throwing people. It's air raiding, man. People scoring touchdowns. Like Dak's throwing for 500 yards. Guys like that, man. It's turned into an offensive league. The best defense will end up, being one of the best teams. So we have to work harder and harder to defend those type of offenses, those explosive offenses, to just keep the numbers down once we get a chance to play.
Follow up for Joe Rudder, Trib.
Yeah, but even though you got the bye now out of the way early in the season, did that maybe come at a good time for some of the defensive guys? Like you and TJ have played a lot of snaps here in the first 3 games.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you get a chance to just relax is a good time. But we will typically like to have that bye towards the middle of the season, just for our body's sake right now. Our body's really not banged up right now. Our legs may be tired, but as far as your body, in our mental state, we're still ahead of the curve, and we're still ready to go.
Hey, Steve, I'm just curious. What are you doing differently this year once you leave the facility or go home? Maybe more so than last year, to protect yourself from the virus or possibly spreading it, of course.
All right. I mean, pretty much the same thing I've always done. I mean, I'm a family guy, so I go home and just be with my family. I think that's the easiest way to stay away from everybody and, kind of isolate yourself.
All right, let's go to Joe Rudder.
Did you guys know coming into the season about the bye week rule where you wouldn't be able to go out of town, and has that seemed to be an issue?
Right. No, it hasn't been an issue.
Anything else, Joe?
Just, if you could expand on just, do you do anything out of the ordinary, or do you just kind of spend your time relaxing?
Right. I mean, there's nothing you can really do given the circumstances. I mean, we still have to get COVID tests. So, whereas before guys might have, went back home to their off-season homes or whatnot. So there's no need to travel or anything. You just kind of, show up, take your COVID test, and go back home.
Brooke Pryor.
Hey, Steve, you guys only ended up with 3 days completely off. The CBA says you need to have 4 in a row off. Was today's practice a voluntary one? And do you feel like you were able to get enough time off for a bye week?
I feel like we got enough adequate time.
Mike Prizzuta.
Hey, Steven, the production you guys are getting off the edge from Dupree and Watt, is that something you consider to be a matchup edge every week? And have those guys, to your notice, taken opponents out of anything just because of their presence?
Bud and TJ?
Yes, sir.
Your question is, are they a threat on the field?
Well, do you expect that? Do you go into every game thinking that that's a matchup advantage for your defense? And do you see them impacting what offenses are calling against you guys?
I mean, definitely, you know, you definitely got a game plan for those two guys. I mean, you can't just go out there with your base stuff and just think you're going to just run your offense when you got 2 killer pass rushers on the outside. So to answer your question, I do think, you know, that offenses have to account for them.
Aditi?
Hey, Steven, did you watch the Eagles on TV last night? And if you did, can you tell me what's different about watching a TV game? Like, what are some of the things that you do pick up that you don't necessarily see when you're just watching all 22?
I didn't watch that game. Yeah, I was doing some stuff with my family. I didn't watch it, but I'm not sure.
Can I ask
Go ahead,
something else?
Aditi. Go ahead.
Okay, thanks. Is there anything about them that you know yet, or have you just not started your prep on the Eagles?
Oh, I've been watching them. I just didn't watch last night, but I've been watching them. You know,
So what jumps out at you at the start of the week? What jumps out at you about this Eagles team?
For one, they have a lot of guys injured, so I got to do some more research, but they got a lot of guys down.
Let's go to Jeff Hathorn.
Hey, Steven, can you give us an idea of the mood of the room of dealing with this kind of late minute buy and uncertainty maybe going forward?
You said the motive?
No, the mood of the room. Like what's...
Oh, we embrace it, man. You know, we knew coming into this season it was going to be a lot of, you know, ups and downs and unexpected things. So we embrace those things and, you know, we take them on as they come and we just prepare as such.
Let's go to Chris Adamski. Go ahead, Chris.
Steven, I just wanted to ask about Vince Williams. He's one of the longest tenured players on your team. I know he's a different position. I know he's not officially a captain or anything, but what does he kind of mean to your defense? Is he kind of a, you know, leader type guy for you guys?
Definitely, man. And Vince brings that, you know, that tenacity, you know, that Steelers, you know, are pretty much known for. You know, he embraces that physicality role, and you know, he's gonna go out there every play and try to take somebody's head off. So I think we feed off of that.
Jerry, do you have a follow-up?
I do. Steve, have you noticed or paid attention to the number of the amount of scoring that's been going on in the league? And do you have any explanation for it? Because usually this early in the year, they usually think defenses are ahead of the offense.
I mean, you see the way it's going. It's an offensive league, you know. I mean, you can barely press guys up if you're playing defensive back. You know, you don't want, you know, it's easy to get a lot of penalties. So, you know, it's pretty much 7-on-7 sometimes out there, man. And you know, playing defense it's a hard job. So, you know, offenses definitely have the advantage.
Brooke, did you have a follow-up?
I didn't. Sorry about that.
Okay. Nope, all good. Let's go to Mark Caboli. Mark, go ahead.
Hey, Steven, having a guy like Ebron around, does that help you guys defensively prepare for a guy like Ertz, or are they totally different type of tight end?
Well, see, Ebron, he's on a starting offense, so we don't get to see him that much. You know, we're going during the week, but you know, the scout team guys been doing a great job, you know, week in, week out of presenting that role. But you know, Ebron is a great player in what he does.
Let's go back to Chris Adamski.
Hey, Steven, is there any talk amongst you guys on the defense? It seems like there's been periods, there's been halves of games where you've looked like maybe the best defense in the league, and there's been halves of games where it's been inconsistent. Is there A, a reason for that, and B, is there a talk about, hey, we got to play 60 minutes of our dominating style or anything like that?
I mean, yeah, you know, it's the NFL, man. You're gonna have ups and downs, you know, and the good thing about it, you know, it's early. I mean, people talk about, you know, what we've done, you know, when we have bad, you know, racks or whatever, but it's only week 3, you know, going into week 4, so it's still early. So, you know, we got a lot of time to, you know, clean it up.
Hey, Chase, looks like you guys just had your rookie dinner over the weekend. How was that? Did you get stuck with the tab? And how else did you spend your kind of impromptu bye week?
Yeah, for the most part, I was just at the house, hanging out, playing video games, watching TV. But yeah, we got together, a mini version of the rookie dinner. But I got stuck with the tab, but it wasn't too bad.
Ray Fittipaldo.
Hey, Chase, you got to play almost every snap after Deontay left that game. Does a situation like that speed up your development in terms of, playing different positions? And, what was that like for you in terms of your growth?
Yeah, I think it was good to get a full game under my belt just to know what I'm expecting or to know what to expect going into the next time that might happen. Definitely speeds up the development, but, I don't think there's, too much more of a gap to where I need to fill in.
Mike Prizzuta.
Chase, I don't know if you had a chance to reflect on the season so far with no game over the weekend, but in the event that you did, what do you like about what you're doing, and what do you think you need to work a little bit more on?
Yeah, I think just the playbook. I think I like that, just how I got the playbook and getting to the right spots and getting open on some plays, and then just keep working on contested catches.
Aditi, go ahead.
Chase, I'm actually just going to follow right with what Mike was asking. Can you try to be a little bit more specific? Like what has surprised you about the NFL game both ways? What's been a pleasant surprise? Like, oh, this is easier than I expected, or this is better than I expected. And what's kind of been surprising the other way? This is a little harder than I expected, or this is more intense, or the guys are more whatever. Give us, a month in what your take is.
Yeah, I think the playbook and the speed was something that was like a pleasant surprise. It wasn't a huge jump in terms of playbook, and then speed of the game, I adjusted pretty quickly to that, I feel like. And then the other way, I think just like treatment, just like getting the most treatment that you can get, even if it's like preventative, like massages during the week and stuff like that. That's something I still have to get on.
Tim Benz.
Chase, are you the kind of guy that likes to watch games when you're not playing? Did you, with the different windows being available, did you watch Cleveland early? Did you watch the Eagles late? And if so, what did you take away from looking at those games?
Yeah, I had a full slate Sunday. So I watched the games that were available for me. I watched the Browns game and then most of the Eagles game. But, I just was watching this to enjoy football. Obviously, you want to enjoy the game and you want to look at what the guys are doing. But for me, it was just more just enjoying watching football on my off day.
Jerry, do we have you now?
You too, Mike. Sorry about that.
That's all right, sir. You're good.
I was on the radio. Hey, Chase, I'm just curious. Of course, I know you weren't here last year to go through any type of routine, but are you doing anything differently, or what are you doing once you leave the facility when you go home to try and protect yourself from the virus, and of course not wanting to spread it to your teammates?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty simple for me. I know my teammates, and then that's about it. So I don't really know too many people that I could hang out with anyways. So after the facility, I hang out with my teammates here, and then once that's done, I just go back home and play games. And if we want to hang out, we get on the game together. So it's a pretty simple routine. Every couple times a week, I'll get a massage just to get ready for the game.
All right, let's go to Jeff Hathorn. Jeff, go ahead.
Chase, along those lines of massages, what can you do to prepare yourself for 13 or maybe even more consecutive weeks of games?
Yeah, I think it's just staying on top of the little bumps and bruises that may occur and then may arise. Not letting them wait until they become something, problematic. So that's what I've been doing. If I got a little soreness somewhere, I make sure I get that treated and then back to practice.
Let's go to Chris Adamski. Chris.
Hey, Chase. how much of a heartening do you take it whenever you got a lot more snaps in that most recent game than you did the first two? And it's got to be a sign that there's confidence in you from the coaches. And how much more comfortable are you with the play, or do you feel, I guess, comfortable, playbook and understand the offense and everything right now, 3 games into your career?
Yeah, no, I feel good with everything. I think just there's little things like timing and stuff that can always, get better. So that's kind of what I'm working on now, rather than learning the plays, since I already know them all. Just like how to do each play specifically to Seven's liking.
All right, got time for 2 more. Let's go to Alan Saunders. Go ahead, Alan.
Hey, Chase, you kind of talked a little bit about, you don't know that many guys. What's it been like just as a young guy to come across 2 countries really, but to a totally different place in the middle of a pandemic? And how do you feel like you're adjusting to life outside of the team sort of circumstances, just being here in Pittsburgh, sort of isolated during a pandemic?
Yeah, I haven't really been able to see much of the city. I've been to a couple places to eat, but other than that, just really been spending most of the day in my house. But the guys are great. I try to get together with the guys off the field every now and then, just to hang out and keep my sanity. So it's been good.
All right, let's go to Noah Strackbean. Noah, go ahead.
Hey, Chase, 2 quick ones real quick. One, I saw that you were going to play Madden the other day. What was your thoughts on your character or whoever? And 2, the 13 games in a row, have you thought about hitting that rookie wall and, ways that you could overcome that, or what that's going to do to you later in the season?
I never really think about hitting the rookie wall, but I am preparing. I'm trying to get in a routine now, so I don't have to go through that too bad. I'm trying to get a routine of treatment. And then my Madden, I filmed the video last night, and I got the reaction video, so I think I might be posting tonight on my YouTube, but I'm not going to lie, I was a little disappointed. So you guys can check that out on the YouTube channel.
All right, we'll wrap it up with Brooke Pryor. Brooke, go ahead.
Chase, I wanted to go back to what it's been like transitioning here during a pandemic. I mean, when's the last time you got to see your family, especially with them being in Canada? And has it been harder maybe than you expected to be away from them and be separated by all this distance?
Yeah, I left a couple weeks after the draft, and that was the last time I seen them. It's definitely tough because I know they won't be able to come to any games this year unless something crazy happens, because they'd have to go home and quarantine for 2 weeks. So, it's a little tough, but I'm used to it. I went to school far away from them, and I didn't see them for long periods of time. So I'm used to it. I just stay in touch with them, and, I know they're supporting me back home.